We continue in Maseches Brachos. We are in the 9th parak. We are on Daf Nun Zayin Amud Beis 57b, right from the second line. We continue the discussion about dreams, and today we finish the discussion about dreams and then move on to other topics for the remainder of the Masechta. Here we go. Tana Rabbanan, the Rabbi has taught. Shloshim Lachem Haim. There are three kings relevant to dreams. If you see them in a dream, you can expect certain things to happen. Haroah David b'chalom. When someone sees King David in a dream, yitzapeh lechasidut. He can expect to grow in piety. Shlomo, if he sees Shlomo, yitzapeh lechachma. He can expect wisdom. And Achav, if he sees Achav, who's a very wicked, evil king, yidaeg mina puranus. He should be worried about punishments. Shalosh Nevi'im Haim. There are three prophets, again relevant to dreams. If you see them, then you can expect certain things to happen. Haroah Sefer Melachim. If someone sees the book of Melachim, which is one of among the prophets in Nevi'im, in Tanakh, Torah, Nevi'im, Ksuvim, Yitzapeh Gedulah. Then you can expect greatness, just like kings are great. You can expect greatness if you see that book in a dream. Yecheskel, if you see Yecheskel, Yitzapeh Chachma. You can hope for wisdom. Yeshaya, if you see Yeshaya, Yitzapeh Nechama. You can hope for salvation or consolation. And Yirmiyah, Yidaeg Mina Puranus. And if you see Yirmiyah, who wrote about a lot of very calamitous things that happened to the Jews, Yidaeg Mina Puranus. You should worry about punishments. So this is weird because the Gemara said there are three Nevi'im, and it went on to list four: Melachim, Yeshaya, Cheskel, and Yirmiyah. So many versions of the Gemara take out Yeshaya and only have Melachim, Yecheskel, and Yirmiyah. Shlosha Ksuvim Gedolim Haim. There are three major Ksuvim among the final part of Tanakh, the major Ksuvim, and these are the three of them. Haroah Sefer Tehillim. If someone sees the book of Tehillim written by David in its majority, Yitzapeh Chasidut, can expect piety, piousness, just like if he sees David, he can expect Chasidut. If you see Tehillim, you can expect Chasidut as well. Mishlei, if he sees the book of Mishlei, Yitzapeh Chachma, he can expect wisdom. Mishlei was written by Shlomo, just like if you see Shlomo, you can expect wisdom. If you see his book, Mishlei, you can expect wisdom. Eov, if you see Eov, the book of Eov, which was a very, very tragic story, a very righteous person who was punished as a test from God to see if he would blaspheme against Hashem. And Eov passed all the tests, and overall, very sad and frightening story. If you see the book of Eov, Yidaeg Mina Puranos, you should worry about punishments. Shlosha Ksuvim Ketanim Haim, there are three minor Ksuvim. Haroah Shir Shirim b'chalom. If someone sees the book Shir Shirim in a dream, Yitzapeh Chasidus, you can expect piousness. Koheles, if he sees the book of Koheles, Yitzapeh Chachma, you can expect wisdom. And Kinos, if he sees the book of Kinos, or Eicha, as we call it today, Yidaeg Mina Paranos, you should worry about punishments. Kinos or Eicha is, of course, the Megillah we read on Tisha B'Av, and has lots of very sad things that happened to the Jews when they were kicked out of Eretz Yisrael. Haroah Megillas Esther, if someone sees the book of Esther, Nes Na'aselo, then he's going to have a miracle that will happen to him. Shlosha Chachamim Haim, there are three Chachamim. Haroah Rebbe B'chalom, if someone sees Rebbe Hanasi in a dream, Yitzapeh Chachma, you can expect wisdom. Rebbe was the author of the Mishnah and was a very smart person. Rav Elazar ben Azariah, if someone sees Rav Elazar ben Azariah, Yitzapeh Ashiros, you can expect to become rich, because Rav Elazar ben Azariah was a very rich person. Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, and if he sees Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha, Yidaeg Mina Puranos, you should worry about punishments. Rabbi Yishmael ben Elisha was one of the Asara Harugei Malchus, the 10 people killed by the Romans, and he was killed in a particularly gruesome way. Not to get into that now. Shlosha Talmidei Chachamim Haim. There are three Talmidei Chachamim. So what's the difference between the Chachamim and the Talmidei Chachamim? Well, all the Chachamim have the word Rebbe in their name. So Rebbe, Rabbi Elazar ben Azariah, and Rebbe Yishmael ben Elisha. So they were all people who received smicha. The three Talmidei Chachamim, as we'll see, do not have the word Rebbe in their name. Therefore, they did not receive smicha. Haroah ben Azai b'chalom. If someone sees Ben Azai in a dream, it's a Pelech Chasidus. You can expect piety. Ben Zoma, if he sees Ben Zoma, it's a Pelech Chachma. You can expect wisdom. And Acher, if he sees Acher, Yidaeg Mina Puranos. So worry about punishments. Acher was Elisha ben Avuya, one of the four people who entered what the Gemara calls the Pardes. And a different thing happened to each of them. One went and went crazy. One went and died. One went and came out normal. And the fourth went and came out a kofar, a heretic. That was Acher. And the Gemara says about Acher that anybody can do tshuva and come back except for Acher. His tshuva will not work for him. So if someone sees Acher in a dream, you should worry about punishments. All kinds of animals are good to see in a dream, except for an elephant, monkey, and a kapod, which is a kind of weasel, a weasel type of animal. But doesn't Mar say, that if someone sees an elephant in a dream, he's going to have miracles that are a miracle done for him? Lo kasha, it's not a problem. Ha de misrag, ha de la misrag. One is referring to if the elephant had a saddle, the other refers to if an elephant does not have a saddle. And we saw this just on 57a, and I believe at the very top of our Amud, we saw exactly the top of the previous Amud. We saw this very line, which was just repeated here. Kol mine mateches yafin lechalam. All kinds of metal are good to see in a dream. Chutz mamer pesel v'kardom, except for a rake, like a shovel and an axe. And we're only referring to a case, the chazinhu, the katayu. If you see them with their handles attached. So if they are, because an axe and the shovel and these things are things where you put the implement, the tool, onto a handle. So if you see them all together, that means that they're ready to be used. That's when you have to be worried. And that's not good. Kol mini peros yafin lechalam. All kinds of fruits are good to see in a dream. Chutz mipage tamara, except for unripe dates. Kol mini yirakos yafin lechalam. All kinds of vegetables are good to see in a dream. Chutz mirashi lefatos, except for the tops of turnips. V'amarav, but didn't Mar say, Lo iyasrei ad chazai rashi lefatos? I did not become rich until I saw turnip heads. Ki chaza, when Rav saw them, bekanayu chaza. He only saw them with their stems attached. They were still implanted in the ground. That was good. That was a sign he was going to become rich. But just turnip heads are not a good sign in a dream. All kinds of colors are good to see in a dream, except for tcheles, which is the kind of color people have on their talis. Every kind of bird is good to see in a dream, except for these three types of birds, which are something like owls or bats, or not very a little bit confusing what they are, but nevertheless, those three kinds of birds are not good to see in a dream. The Gemara now gives us a mnemonic about the various types of things which we're going to see coming up, and for the most part, we're done with the dream interpretations. We'll have a little bit more, but for the majority, we are pretty much through with all those sugyas. So we're going to have Gemaras about guf, haguf, me'ain, meshivin, and then marchivin. So these 5 things are going to come up, and that's the siman for the things in the Gemara. So first, guf. Shlosha nichnasin laguf. 3 things enter the body, ve'en haguf ne'ene mehen, but the body does not derive benefit from them. What are these things? Gudzganios, vikafnios, upage tamara. These are cherries and kafnios, some kind of dates, upage tamara, and unripe dates. Shlosha ein nichnasin laguf. 3 things do not enter the guf, do not enter the body. V'haguf nehne mehen, but the body derives benefit from them nonetheless. Elohein, and these are the 3 things. V'chitza, washing one's body. V'sicha, anointing one's body with oil. V'tashmish, and sexual intercourse. Shlosha me'ein olam haba. So far what we've done is guf and guf. And we saw here guf and guf. Now we're going to do me'ein, the me'ein Gemara. Shlosha me'ein olam haba. 3 things are me'ein olam haba, are similar to the experience of the world to come. And Elohein, these are the 3 things. Shabbos, shemesh, v'tashmish. The day of Shabbos, shemesh, the sun, v'tashmish, and some kind of tashmish. Generally, tashmish means sex, but here it means something else. What does tashmish mean here? Tashmish demai. Tashmish of what? If you say tashmish of the bed, meaning sex, ha machish kachish, that makes a person very weak. And olam haba would ostensibly be something that does not make a person weak. So ela tashmish, what does tashmish mean? Tashmish nekevim. It's tashmish of the orifices of a person's body, literally using the bathroom. And that is a feeling that is so good, that is me'ein olam haba. We move on to the next part of the Gemara. Now we're in meshivin. Shlosha meshivin da'ato shel adam. 3 things return a person's das, meaning if a person's very depressed, these 3 things will make him feel better. Elohein, these are the 3 things. Kol, umara, v'reach. A voice, a sight, and a smell. So kol is either music or singing, and very clear. People who listen to music makes themselves very happy. Mara are beautiful sights, and Rambam in the beginning of Pirkei Avos chapter 5. In his introduction to that parak, he goes into a long explanation of what this means. V'reach, and pleasant smells also make people happy. Then shlosha marchivin da'ato shel adam. Three things expand the das of a person, meaning even if a person's happy, it makes him even more happy. And this is the final siman, marchivin. Elohein, these are the three things. Dira na'eh, a beautiful house. V'isha na'eh, a beautiful wife. The kelim na'im, and beautiful vessels, either vessels or kelim here mean clothing. So that was that part of the Gemara and those simanim. Now we have a new mnemonic for the next pieces of the Gemara. Chamisha, Veshisha, V'asara siman. 5, 6, 10 are our simanim. So here is the Gemara about 5. Chamisha, there are 5 things, Echad Mishishin, that are 1 of 60, meaning a 60th. 5 things which are known to be 1/60th of something else. Elohein. These are the 5 things. Eish, fire, Dvash, honey, Shabbos, Shina, sleep, V'chalom, and dreams. Eish, Echad Mishishim leGehenna. Fire is 1/60th of Gehenna. Dvash, Echad Mishishim leman. And honey is 1/60th of man. Shabbos, Echad Mishishim le'olam haba. Shabbos is 1/60th of the world to come. Shina, Echad Mishishim le'misa. Sleep is 1/60th of death. Chalom, Echad Mishishim le'nevuah. And a dream is 1/60th of nevuah. That was 5. Now we move on to Shisha, the Shisha siman. Shisha devarim siman yafe lechola. There are 6 things which are a good sign for a sick person. Elohein, these are those 6 things. Atush, sneezing. Zia, sweating. Shilshol, having diarrhea. Keri, having a seminal emission. Vishina, falling asleep. V'chalon, and experiencing a dream. Itush, how do we know sneezing is effective? The chsiv, as it's written. Atishosav tehel or. When you sneeze, it'll bring forward light. So light here is a metaphor for wellness. So sneezing brings you wellness. Zia, sweating. The chsiv, as it says, B'zeach apecha tochal lechem. With the sweat of your brow, you will eat bread. Now, this is from Bereshis Parag Gimel, where Hashem is telling Adam a curse for the sin of eating from the Eitz Hadas. And he says that, previously you had all the food given to you and you didn't have to work for it. But now, B'zeas apecha tochal lechem, with the sweat of your brow, you'll eat bread. You'll have to work the fields and work very hard and get very sweaty to make your bread. But here, what the Gemara is teaching us is that this pasuk is teaching us something different, which is B'zeas apecha, with the sweat of your brow, tochal lechem. You will be able to eat bread. Meaning to say that when you are sick and not able to eat and not having such an appetite, when you start sweating, you'll develop an appetite, and that'll be a sign that you are feeling better. So, interestingly, like this whole sugya of dreams in this part of the Gemara, one of the big ideas behind all those dreams was hakol holchen achar peh, that everything really goes after the interpretation. And if you had a good interpretation or a bad interpretation, that could really affect how the dream impacts the person in the future. So here too, we see a pasuk which, in context, is really a very negative kind of pasuk, but the Gemara is taking it and giving it a positive interpretation. And hakol holchen achar peh, they're turning this pasuk around and making it teach us something very, very positive and beautiful. Shilshol, diarrhea. How do we know that? The chsiv, as it says, Nahert soah lehipatzeach, that if a person bends down, very quickly he shall be opened. V'lo yamus l'shaches, and he will not die or be destroyed. And soah is another way of saying poop in the Tanakh language. So the Gemara is saying that a person who experiences lots of shilshul, of diarrhea, he will not die or be destroyed, and he will be getting healthier and healthier. Keri, how do we know that a seminal emission makes a person, or is a sign that a person is healing? As it says, Yira zera, if a person sees zera, ya'arich yamim, his days will be long. And this is, I believe, the final time in Maseches Brachos that we see a reference to something that brings arichas yamim. And we had about 12 or so before now. And whoever can tell me any of the things that we learned, I will be very impressed. All the things that gave arichas yamim. Shina, sleep. How do we know that brings health? The chsiv, it says, Yashanti az yenuachli. I slept and then I felt very rested. So it implies that sleep gives a person rest and makes a person feel better. Chalom, a dream. The chsiv, it says, Vatachlimeni v'hachieni. You strengthened me and gave me life. Vatachlimeni, which means strengthen me, sounds like chalom. So it can be read, Tachlimeni, you made me dream, v'hachieni, and you caused me to live. So therefore, it's possible to say that Tachlimeni, you made me dream, v'hachieni, and then you gave me life. Dreams are a sign that someone is feeling better. Next, Shisha. Still part of the Shisha Siman. Shisha Dvar Merapin Esachola Michalav. 6 things heal a person from a sickness, refuah so refuah. And the healing is a pure, true healing. Elohein, these are the 6 things. Kruv, cabbage. Betargin, beets. Vesisin, yavation, and dried vesisim. The kiva, and the intestines, the stomach of an animal. The haris, the womb of an animal. The yoseres hakaved, and the liver, or the external liver of the animal. These are 6 things which are very healthy. The Yeshomrim, and some say af dagim katanim, even small fish give refuah katana. V'lo, and not only that, elash dagim katanim mafrin umavrin called gufo shel adam. That these small fish, they invigorate and revitalize the person's entire body. That was the 6th siman. We said the siman number 5, 6, then 10. Here we go to the 10 siman. The 10 things return a person to his 6th state. And his sickness will be very, very severe. Elohein, these are the 10 things. Ha'ochel basar shor, if someone eats ox meat, basar shemen, and very fatty meat, basar tzeli, roasted meat, basar tziparim, or chicken meat, beitza tziluya, roasted egg, v'tiglachas, if someone shaves, that's apparently not healthy. V'shchalim, or if he eats some kind of shechalim, I'm not sure exactly what that means, but some kind of food. V'chalav, milk, gvina, cheese. V'amerchatz, if someone goes into the bathhouse. V'yeshomrim, and some also say af egozim, also nuts. V'yeshomrim af kishuim, and some say even cucumbers. So these 10 things, which really they listed 12, also are some of them today we know are really very unhealthy, and some not so much, because we take showers in very different ways, we shave in a very different way. But cheese and milk, obviously dairy, not very healthy. Very fatty meat, very not so healthy. But as with everything, we learn the medical gemaras with a little bit of a grain of salt, as it were. Tana debei Rabbi Yishmael. There was taught in the yeshiva of Rabbi Yishmael. Lama nikra shman kshuim. Why do we call cucumbers kshuim? Why does it have that name? Mipnei shehein kashim laguf kecharavos. Because they are difficult or painful for the body, like swords. And is that really true? Vaksiv, and we saw in a pasuk, Vayomar Hashem la shnei goyim bebitnecha. Hashem said to her, there are 2 nations in your stomach. This is talking about Esav and Yaakov in the stomach of their mother Rivka, and she didn't understand why she was getting all this, why she was being kicked from one side and the other, why there was a lot of kicking going on inside of her, and she received the nevuah saying there are 2 nations inside of you, 2 different people. They're twins that are even in the womb. They're fighting with each other. So that's the pasuk and what that's talking about. So Shnei Goyim bevitnecha. There are two nations in your in your womb. Al tikrei Goyim. Don't read Goyim nations. Ela Gayim, but lords, Gayim or officials. From Rav Yehuda Amarav, Rav Yehuda said in the name of Rav, Elu Antoninus v'Rebbe. This is Antoninus, the famous Greek or Roman, the Rebbe, and Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. Shelo pasak mishulchanam lo tznon v'lo chazeres lo kishuim. That their table never lacked from either radishes or chazeres, which we just had by the seder, or lettuce, and la kishuim, not cucumbers. Not during the dry season or the rainy season. So this Gemara seems to be saying that kshuim, cucumbers, are a sign of good things. Rebbe and Antoninus, very rich, successful people, always had these cucumbers at their table. Why would they have had them at their table if these kshuim were very painful or difficult for the body? So Gemara answers, Lo kasha, it's not a problem. Ha b'rav Ravi, one is referring to large cucumbers. Ha b'zutri, one is referring to small cucumbers. One are healthy, and the healthy ones were the ones that Rebbe and Antoninus had. The other are unhealthy, and that's the one referred to earlier from Bei Rav Yishmael. Tana Rabbanan, the rabbis taught, Meis b'bayis, if someone sees a dream where there's a dead person in the house, Shalom b'bayis, there's peace in the house. Achal b'shata b'bayis, if a person eats or drinks in the house, or some understand if this person sees a dead person eating and drinking in his house in a dream, Siman yafeh l'bayis, it's a good sign for the house. Natal kelim in a bias, if he takes clothes from the house, Siman ra l'bayis, it's a bad sign for the house. Targum of Papa, but Rav Papa explained, b'masana v'sandal, it's talking about slippers or sandals. Kol deshakil shichla male, and if the dead person takes anything away, it's a good sign. Bar mimasana v'sandala, except for the slippers and sandals. Kol yahiv shichla male, and everything he puts into the house is a good sign. Bar me'afra v'chardala, except for afar, dirt, and chardal, mustard. Okay, so that was all basically the end of all the dreams Gemaras, and now we go back to the Mishnah, and we move back into and we move on with the rest of the parak. Back on Nun Dalet Amud Aleph, the second line of the Mishnah is Haroa. If someone sees Makom Shnei Akar Mimenu Akum, a place where idolatry was uprooted from it, Omar, you should say, Baruch She'akar Akum Me'artzenu. Blessed is the one who uprooted idolatry from our land. So obviously referring to seeing this in Eretz Yisrael. Tana Rabbanan, rabbis taught, Haroa Markulis, Omar, if someone sees Markulis, which was an idol in Bavel, you should say the following, Baruch Shenasan Erech Apayim La'ovre Ritzono. Blessed is the one who gives lots of patience to the ones who uproot his will. Makom Shnei Akra Menu Avodas Kochavim. If someone sees a place where idolatry was uprooted from it, Omer should say, Baruch She'akar Akum Me'artzinu. Blessed is the one who uprooted idolatry from our land. Ukashem Shnei Akar Makom Zeh, and just like it was uprooted from this place, came to Akar Mikol Mikometz Yisrael. It should be uprooted from all the places of Israel. The Hashev Lev of Dehem La'avdecha, and the hearts of their servers or of their worshippers shall turn to your service. That's what they should say. But in outside of Eretz Yisrael, and Sarach Lamar, you don't need to say the following part: Vashiv Lev of Dehem Lavdach, that the hearts of the idolaters should return to your service. Because the majority of the people there are idol worshippers. Now today we might live in a different reality where most people do not worship idols clearly and worship one God. Most people around the world, Christians and Muslims included. So this Gemara was coming from a place with a much different world, as they say, where people and their spiritual systems were quite different than they are nowadays. So nowadays the halacha might be different, and it is worth to look in the sources to see if this is a havamina which finds expression in the halachic literature. Rabbi Shimon ben Elazar says, "Af b'chutz la'aretz tarich lomar kain." Even in chutz la'aretz, you have to say that line, because they are all destined to become to convert to Judaism, maybe to convert to Shavu Mitzvos B'nai Noach, to convert to monotheism. Not so clear, but Shneimar, as it says, "Az ahapoch el amim safa brura." I will turn all the people to have one clear language. So this line appears in Halacha in the Rambam, where he says, and this is Hilchos Brachos Perek Yud Halacha Tes, Haroa Makom She'ovdin Bo Akum. If someone sees a place where there was idolatry worshipped there, Mevarech, he should make the following bracha: Baruch Atah Hashem Elokeinu Melech Olam, Shenasan Erech Apayim La'over Ritzono, who has a lot of patience for the people who transgress his will. Makom Shnei Akar Mimenu Akum, in a place where there was uprooted idolatry, where there was idolatry there, but it was uprooted. In Eretz Yisrael, Hu Mevarech She'akar Akum Me'artzenu. If it's in Eretz Yisrael, he should make the bracha for thank you for the one who uprooted idolatry from our land. Then b'chutz la'aretz, but outside of Eretz Yisrael, Hu Mevarech, he should say the following bracha: She'akar Akum Mimakom Hazeh, who uprooted idolatry from this place. And for both of them, he should say the following additional line: Kishem she'akarta mimakom zeh, just like you uprooted it from this place. Kach ta'akor mikol mikomos, you should also uproot it from all places. V'tashiv lev ovdehem la'avdecha, and return the hearts of their worshippers to your service. Okay, now let's finish this Gemara. Darash Rav Hamnuna expounded the following. Haroa Babel Harsha. If someone sees the wicked Babylon, Sarach Levarech Chamesh Brachos, he has to make 5 brachos. Ra'a Bavel, if he sees just the country or the area of Bavel, Omer should say, Baruch Shehachriv Bavel Harsha. Blessed is the one who destroyed the wicked Bavel. Remember, this is Bavel where Rav Hamnuna and many of his relatives, similar to Jews after the Holocaust, would have experienced a lot of persecution kicking Jews out of Eretz Yisrael and destroying the Beis HaMikdash. So the memory of Bavel and what they did was very raw and very real to these people. So, just like a person who nowadays might go to Poland or Auschwitz, in Poland and say something like this, like, oh, thank God for destroying the Nazis and saving my people. The same kind of thing going on here, and we have to really read it in that light. Ra'a Beiso Shel Nebuchadnezzar, if someone sees the house of Nebuchadnezzar, or his palace, Omer should say, Baruch Shehechriv Beiso Shel Nebuchadnezzar Harasha. Blessed is the one who destroyed the house or the palace of Nebuchadnezzar, the evil. Ra'a Gov Shel Arayos, if someone sees the lion's den, Okif Shan Ha'esh, or the fiery furnace. The lion's den is where Daniel was thrown into, and that entire story can be found in Daniel chapter 6. Very interesting chapter and a very beautiful book in general. Something everyone should learn at least once in their life. Oh, Kivshan Ha'esh, and the Kivshan Ha'esh, similar story to Avram Avinu, where Hananiah, Mishael, and Azariah were thrown into the burning fire because they refused to serve idols, and they were saved. Also mentioned in the book of Daniel, I believe, if I recall correctly. If a person sees these places, Omer should say, Baruch she'asa nisim la'avoseinu b'makom hazeh. Blessed is the one who did miracles for my fathers in this place. Ra'a Markulis, if someone sees the idol Markulis, Omer should say, Baruch she'nasan erech hapayim la'over ritzano. Blessed is the one who has lots of patience for the ones who transgress his will. Ra'a makom shenotlu mimenu afar. If a person sees a place, or sees the place where they remove the dirt from it, Omer should say, Baruch Omer va'oseh gozer mekayim. Blessed is the one who says and does, and decrees and establishes, or carries out. Now, what exactly the place where they carried away dirt from, what that was, not exactly so clear. Some hold it was just a standard construction site where they were building something, and then because Bavel was destroyed, they were not building anymore. So in some sense, to celebrate the fact that they're not building more and more places, this is what a person should make the bracha on. There are other interpretations as well in other places. See the standard commentaries for other opinions. Rava, and what Rava, when he saw a donkey carrying away dirt, Tarif luhu yada, he would slap it on the back, he would slap it with his hand, al gabayu, on its back. V'amar, and he would say, Rahutu tzadike leme'avad ra'usa demarechu. Run, Rahutu, run, tzadike, righteous ones, leme'avad ra'usa demarechu, to perform the will of your master or creator. Mar bred Ravina, Mar the son of Ravina, Kihava mati lebavel, when he went to Bavel, Hava shakil afra besudre, he would put some of the dirt in his clothing, the shade libara, and then he would throw it out. Why would he do that? Lekayim mashinemar, to fulfill that which it says, V'ta'ata seha v'mata'ata hashmad, I will sweep it away with the broom of shmad, of destruction. Amar Rav Ashi said, Anaha, the Rav Hamnuna lo shami ali, I didn't hear about that teaching of Rav Hamnuna, alamida'atai b'richtinhu l'kulu. But on my own understanding, I made all the brachos that he mentioned. A person should make the 5 brachos when a person goes into Bavel. I hope that was clear. I hope you're all having a wonderful day, and we'll see you again tomorrow for Nun Ches Amud Aleph.